Recently, my wife and I almost lost 600 photos from our niece's family celebration. We accidentally wiped the SD cards before we could even download the photos to the computer. I was trying to figure out what to do. Data recovery software costs between $200 and $500, which isn't exactly cheap. Since I've been using AI quite a bit lately, specifically Claude Code, I thought I'd try to solve it using that, and the result completely exceeded my expectations. We solved the problem in 3 minutes of my time and for $0. Come on, I'll show you how. As I mentioned, we'll be using Claude Code to recover the photos, specifically Claude Code in the terminal, but you can also use the standard Claude Code found in the app. So to explain the situation a bit more, what happened was we formatted the photos and then put the cards back with the other empty ones, and we have about 20 in total. And now we don't know which of those 20 cards it's on. Anyway, what I want to try is this. I have about 4 SD card slots in total on my computer using all my external card readers. So I'll do 4 cards at a time, meaning I'll insert 4 cards into the computer and let them load. Now I can go ahead and start Claude. So we'll open Claude and type dangerously skip permissions, and that way we won't have to confirm everything we actually type into Claude. At this point we have Claude running. We have all 4 cards. Yeah, we basically have untitled cards with this name here. The cards are 256 gigabytes at most, because I don't use larger cards, and the very simple prompt I'll use goes like this. We'll use a variable for when the photos were taken, so Claude knows which photos to look for on the cards. And we'll also use a variable for the card size, or rather the maximum sizes of the external devices on the computer. Because I have several external drives, SSDs, hard drives, but they're all larger than 500 gigabytes, while my cards are 256 gigabytes max. So I'll use a very simple prompt that I'll show you now. At this point we can add the prompt, which you can find in the video description, and feel free to copy it. The prompt basically defines for Claude how many cards we'll be working with, how large those cards are, so it knows which cards to take, or rather, which external media. Next, we define which photos to look for based on the date they were taken, and then we define which hard drive to save and recover the photos to. We can confirm with Enter. After about 2 minutes, Claude will give us info about the process, so we can go through it and see that it found all the cards. And now it's checking if it has EXIF tool and PhotoRec. If it doesn't have these tools, it will install them. Next, it estimates how long the whole thing will take. We see that in total it could take 4 to 6 hours, but in reality it'll likely be faster. Then, right before Claude starts, it asks you what types of photos and whether to work parallelly or sequentially. So we will write that it can get started, that we will only work with raw photos, and that it is able to work in parallel with other tasks. Confirm with Enter. So after about 2 hours, we can see that Claude Code has made some real progress. And if you look closely, you can see that on card number 1, it actually found photos from May 16th. So we'll go to that disk, find the recovery folder, and we can see that we have several hundred photos here in RAW format from my Sony. We can verify it, we see the correct size here and the correct format. And those are the rescued photos that Claude Code was able to recover for us. If you have a damaged or deleted card, before you spend $300 on recovery software, try the prompt in the description. It's all there ready to be copied. And if you're interested in how I actually use Claude as a photographer daily, subscribe for more videos. And if this video saved your photos, I'd be very grateful for a like. Thanks and take care.